Last time the regular season mattered, it was like two things, Dan, that really jumped out to me. LeBron and the Heatles. Like, that was appointment viewing every single night. We dissected everything that happened. Every time LeBron raised his eyebrow, every time Dwayne Wade cut his eyes, every time Chris Bosh, did the Raptor yell. We had something to say about that the next day, right? Now you get Luka Doncic and LeBron and the Laker brand all together, and then you're saying, man, the Lakers might have something there. Second thing, Dan, the last time the regular season mattered was the Golden State Warriors in 2016, winning 73 games. After they didn't win the title, we were like, okay, the regular season don't mean no more. Now we're at the point where we're trying to see, wait, Jimmy Butler got traded there? They're 9-1 without. They're making a run. Steph at the Garden. They got like 4 or 5 straight at home after they go to Brooklyn in a couple days. Like, they can get to the 5 spot in the West. They're not just in the play-in. Like, this is the thing that you want to see coming out of the All-Star break, headed down the stretch of the last month of the season. We ain't even talking about March Madness and what that means and everything else. We are squarely, fully into the weeds of what this means. And I didn't think we could actually get back to this place, Dan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of my original take of I think when Jimmy got announced to the Warriors, I was like, oh, that's a good floor-raising move for the regular season. But now I'm looking at it like, damn, this got them like legitimately as playoff contenders right now. I'm not going to say championship yet, but it's definitely moving that direction. And in terms of entertainment value, like, yeah, Luka going to the Lakers obviously is going to generate a lot of eyes and views, especially when he's going to take over the Lakers franchise after LeBron James. Watching those two figure it out together has been great to watch. But yeah, I think that Steph Curry has just reinvigorated the league too, because it's interesting the way that they did the scheduling, that now that they're on this 5-game road trip on the East Coast, he's doing his greatest hits. He goes to Orlando, drops 56. Then he goes to Charlotte. He actually plays in his hometown. Then it goes to the Mecca and does what he does last night. It's just been great to watch, man. And I think now with those two as still the stars, the faces of the league, having these moments at this age, I mean, I can't be happier than a basketball fan, man. Like, and Jimmy Butler for what he's done, and Luka, what he's going to do for the Lakers. It's great for basketball in terms of getting eyes. You want the viewership, you got it. So, yeah, I think we got to ride this and appreciate it, because I can't. LeBron just won Player of the Month at 40 years old, averaging like 28 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, shooting ridiculously from the field. Like, this 40-year-olds don't do that. And I think it needs to be appreciated. Like, as much of this conversation on the bigger media outlets has gone to, he's not MJ. He's not MJ. That's fine. He doesn't have to be MJ. He's still one of the greatest players to ever play the game. And to be doing it at this level at 40 years old, no one has been better at basketball at 40 years old than LeBron James. It's just ridiculous to see what we're getting on a nightly basis from both of those guys, Steph and LeBron.
I want to touch on Steph, but I want to start with LeBron because it's top of mind, and because clearly this is why you guys are here, right? Clearly, this is why you guys are here. We're going to play the hits, right? I know y'all might have got tired of hearing "Not Like Us," but y'all kept hearing it. Y'all kept saying A minor. Y'all kept saying it, right? All right, cool. So we're going to give it to you. Now, the thing about LeBron that really, really impresses me, I am not a member of LeBron is the greatest player of all time hive, right?
Neither am I.
My judge on that stuff is how great are you when you are at your best type of thing. Yeah. And I think Michael Jordan at his best clears LeBron James. Not barely, clears LeBron James. Where LeBron gets me is, as I've studied NBA history, and I'm a history aficionado, from players to teams to eras to the rules to all the things. What has been the culprit for a lot of great players and great teams, Dan, has been fatigue. It's really hard to continue to rev it up night after night, year after year, for a decade or whatever it is. Like, that's the thing that catches you when you say Father Time. It's mental fatigue. It's physical fatigue. It's all these different. You get tired of teams chasing you. You get tired of you chasing yourself. You get tired of chasing your own shadow, your own greatness, and that wears you down. We've seen it everywhere, right? Like, fatigue is a skill, or stamina is a skill. LeBron's stamina and his appetite and his hunger to say, you know what? I'm going to leave Cleveland. I'm talking about the second time. I'm going to leave Cleveland at 34 years old or whatever it was. Usually when you're not really making big life changes in terms of your basketball career at 34 years old and you're uprooting and everything else and starting over. He made that change because he legit had the stamina to say, okay, I can play until I'm 40 and I'm going to give organizations, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but he clearly has some level of stamina with the Lakers to give them time to continue to keep building and tweaking, and then Luka Doncic falls in his lap. Dan, I saw that man against the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. I saw that man in the first round against the Denver Nuggets last year. He looked tired. That's what he's talking about, retirement and everything else after the Western Conference Finals. He spoiled the Denver Nuggets moment of glory. And now that man looks fresh as a daisy. That man, look, I don't know if y'all remember wrestling. I mean like wrestling. Ric Flair and the Royal Rumble was in there for an hour. Like an hour the first time he won the title. Like I'm going in the crates. That's what this feels like. This feels like LeBron is like Ric Flair in the Royal Rumble with his hair looking like it had been electrocuted and everything else, and everybody coming for him. And LeBron is not gonna say he's going to be the last man standing because I don't think the Lakers are going to the finals. But the mere fact that this is a conversation, that we are looking at LeBron and Luka Doncic this year, this season, in a quick turnaround and saying, man, y'all are putting it together in the meantime, even with the roster flaws that y'all got. Y'all don't even have a big. But y'all are putting it together because you two have decided to put it together because LeBron has the stamina, the mental stamina, I keep harping on it, to continue to do this. That's the most impressive thing to me about his entire career.
That's the most impressive? Not even 50,000 points?
No, but everything stems from that. Like the stamina leads to all the other things, leads to getting to the finals 10 times or whatever it is, 4 and 6, getting to the finals 10 times and taking 3 different franchises. It all stems from a mental stamina, because if you don't have the mental stamina, you can't do it physically. You can't train. You can't, you know what I mean? Right. You can't fight off.
The focus, yeah.
That's a focus, man. That's where I give him all the credit in the world.
How can you not? I mean, to be playing at this level and then still have it's always funny to look at LeBron's career and like different stages, like his first Cleveland, his Heat moment, back to Cleveland, and then now you have the Lakers thing. And I didn't really care when he went to the Lakers. Like I thought it wasn't. I didn't love it for the NBA, but at the same time, the fact that he won a championship there, and now he's getting this final act on his own terms, and he's still delivering, is just the most impressive thing. Like he's going to go down as the greatest. I think he's one of the greatest athletes ever. I'm not even talking about basketball.
For sure.
He could easily play this sport till 45 at a high level, which is ridiculous considering how many people have not even made it to 35. With all between the, as you said, mental focus or the physical limitations, somehow he's been able to last through all of that and still be successful. It was great to see him get 50,000 points, because I think that's going to be one of those records that won't ever be touched. It's going to be in those Jerry Rice, some Wayne Gretzky, Michael Phelps Olympic golds. There's no way someone's going to be able to come out and play 22 plus seasons at that level ever again, especially in the era that we're in with the way players are playing or not playing on a regular basis.
Look, you got to have a lot of things work in your favor. You know what I mean? Yeah. And not just the stamina on the floor. He's been the face of the league since he showed up with the Hummer. You know what I mean?
Since he called himself the king.
Yes. Since he was 16 years old, on the cover of Sports Illustrated, on the cover of Slam, and all those basketball Bibles where people were introduced to him, and then ESPN coverages came. And then you had, Derek Jeter and all these people, Jay-Z showing up at his high school games.
Yep.
Like, that was Jay-Z that kept a low Caesar. We are at Jay-Z with the
That was the button ups.
Yeah, that's the button ups and the cufflinks, and we had the nerve to be showing our asses are at the club with baggy jeans, button ups, and baseball hats. Saying we was going in sexy.
Tight to the side.
Tied to the side. Right now, we didn't even go to the club no more. We don't dance.
Nah.
We don't use CDs. We don't use MP3s. We don't even socialize anymore. And yet and still, LeBron has been the face of the league in a way that is exhausting to consider because of all the attention. The thing for LeBron that works for him is that he wants so desperately to win all these arguments.
Yeah,
that's where the energy comes from.
That's
you know
the
what I mean?
Focus. Chasing
that's
23.
Michael Jordan was the greatest player of all time, probably since 1993, right?
Yeah.
And maybe even a little bit before that. It was just, he's won 3 straight. He surpassed his peers of Magic and Bird who had never done it. You know, we didn't wait till Michael hit 6 to call him the greatest. Everything just sort of added on to it. We're not giving that to LeBron. Better or worse, we're not giving it to him. And I don't know if he needs it, but we're not giving it to him. Everybody's in their neutral corners. Whatever you think is what you think. I'm not coming off my corner. Nobody else is coming off theirs. That's fine. Here's the thing about Steph, though. Because Steph came out of nowhere, it's almost like Steph plays with house money to some degree, right? He's got 4 rings, same as LeBron, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you give him Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy Butler is the perfect player for Golden State because he's not the perfect player for Golden State. Because he's not running around shooting threes and like playing like Brandon Podziemski or, whatever it is. Like he's a total outlier, and that enables Steph to rest. That also enables Steph to play off of someone for the first time in his career, like a supreme offensive player. And also a supreme defensive player who can take care of the ball, so you don't have to worry about those. You know how Steph would be throwing the ball all around, left-hand hook passes, and then it'd be like a pick 6. Like Jimmy's not doing that. So now you have a player who's the exact opposite. You've got Jonathan Kuminga getting ready to come back, and they are steadily climbing the Western Conference standings to the point where you're like, okay, if Lakers fall and Warriors rise, can we get a 4-5? Lakers, Warriors, or do we even want the 4-5 because we think both of these teams can make a run? That's where we are right now in NBA conversation because of Stephen Curry and his Golden State Warriors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that would be a marquee matchup for sure, but I think I'd rather them.
You gonna get greedy. You want to see that later.
Let's see that later. Let's get that as a later match. Let's see the old heads upset the young ones and then get a Western Conference final that would have that. That would be the apex of like all of the ratings that the NBA is looking for right there. That would be it for sure.
I'm old. I'm not like old. Like,
and you'd rather be in the Bay and LA than you would be Oklahoma City too, right?
Look, that's not really a discussion here. We're not talking about such things.